on the internet? I am Emperor Cole. This is Emperor Cole Film Review, brought to you by MindbenderENT.com. Today I'll be reviewing Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Everybody, grab your lightsaber and let's take this journey together. Ow! J.J. Abrams had a monumental task of basically taking the most beloved film franchise in all of history and reinvigorating it and reintroducing it to a new generation. This was not an easy task by any stretch of the imagination, and I believe J.J. did an excellent job at blending the old with the new, of getting the old cast and bringing them into this new film, of finding new actors to portray these new characters, and I think he did a hell of a job at making sure the franchise is set up now for success. So the feel of this movie is that of the original trilogy. What I mean by that is the original trilogy has a certain type of feel, a certain type of funness to it, a certain type of adventure feel that series has. And then the second trilogy, the prequels, has a whole totally different type of feel that doesn't quite equal into what this one is. So the fact that The Force Awakens feels like the original trilogy from the 70s and the early 80s is absolutely amazing. Like, you feel like you're on an adventure watching this movie. You feel like you're jumping into the Millennium Falcon and traveling to different planets. You feel like you're actually in the heart of a battle with a lightsaber in your hand battling with people. So that's a great feeling to have. The Force Awakens, in my opinion, this was the most fun. This is the most fun movie experience that I had all year long in 2015, which was a great feeling that just could not be matched. So it wasn't the best film of 2015, but in my opinion, it was the most fun film of 2015. My favorite character in The Force Awakens has to be the character of Finn, played by John Boyega. I remember seeing John Boyega in the film Attack the Block, and that was actually a pretty good movie. So a couple years later to see him starring and anchoring a Star Wars film is absolutely amazing. So his character Finn starts out as a stormtrooper who decides that he doesn't want to no longer run with the First Order. From there, he decides to leave the First Order, and that's where our adventure starts. He does an excellent job at being heroic when he needs to be heroic. His character is very funny and humorous throughout the whole entire film. He's courageous when he needs to be courageous. And I mean, this guy was actually the total package for the film. John Boyega has a very bright future ahead of him. I mean, there are certain parts of the movie where he does things that you wouldn't expect a heroic character to do, and he has some sensibilities that seem to be more like what a normal person would do in certain situations, which is very comedic, it's very funny, and it's very easy to relate to him. And then, obviously, he's trained as a stormtrooper all of his life, so there are moments when he needs to throw down and has the hand-to-hand combat with people, and he does a great job with that. So he's bringing the action when he needs to bring the action. He's got the comedy when he needs the comedy. The guy did a hell of a job. Hats off to John Boyega. Daisy Ridley played the character of Rey, and believe it or not, this was actually her first major motion picture where she had a lead role in it. So for her to go from doing smaller pictures, small little independent things, to actually starring in a Star Wars movie is absolutely ridiculous. And it just goes to show that anything is absolutely possible. Now, Daisy Ridley did a beautiful job playing the character of Rey. I mean, once again, just like Finn, she was tough when she needed to be tough. She was vulnerable when she needed to be vulnerable. She was feminine. She has the sex appeal subtly. Once again, she was also the real deal. She was the total package. She has a bright future ahead of her. I believe that she'll be rivaling Jennifer Lawrence for certain roles as far as stardom and being an A-list actress in about another 3 or 4 years. That's how many roles I think are going to start to come her way because of her performance in Star Wars. Obviously, they have Episode 8 and Episode 9 to do, but you're going to see her popping up on your screen a lot more frequently. There were questions about the main villain, Kylo Ren. Trust me when I tell you, Kylo Ren is not a Darth Vader rehash. I originally thought that he was just going to be another kind of Vaderish type of character, and that he is not. Kylo Ren is his own character. His backstory is actually very intriguing. I won't get into any spoilers. His just where he could possibly be going in the future is also kind of mysterious, but it's very intriguing where you want to know what happens next. I want to see where this guy goes from where he is now. So, like I said, Kylo Ren is definitely a villain that's worthy. He does some things in this film that are extremely villainous. There's one scene that everyone, if you've seen the movie already, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen the film already, you need to go see it. And after you see it, you're going to be like, wow, I can't believe that really happened. But Kylo Ren is definitely a villain worth talking about. He's definitely going to be the main villain for at least episode 8 before whatever happens with him or however his storyline plays out. But it was excellent to see what they did with this guy. Alright, it's time for a quick commercial break from our sponsor, Mindbender Entertainment. Feel free to check out mindbenderent.com. The future is now.
What is this?
Huh?
Mindbender ENT, what is this? Is this what you're doing while you're supposed to be working?
The ladies love it.
What's even on this website?
It's mindbenderent.com. It has everything.
We have a presentation in 10 minutes. This is unacceptable.
The ladies love it.
What? Where do they come from?
Oh, them? They're just a figment of my imagination. Mindbenderent.com has everything.
As I stated before, J.J. Abrams had the incredibly tough task of blending the old cast from the original trilogy with this new blood that he wanted to infuse into the actual storyline and obviously to propel the story. And he did a great job of doing this. Having Harrison Ford come on board obviously was a huge plus. When you watch this performance by Harrison Ford, you don't see Harrison Ford, you see Han Solo. You see Han Solo 30 years later, and his acting and his sensibilities are very believable as far as where this character would be at this point in his life, given certain things that have happened. So Harrison Ford did a great job of returning to the role of Han Solo. Alright, so there were some very big questions that Star Wars fans had going into The Force Awakens, and this movie, the storyline with some of the things that happens with some of the characters, like a lot of the questions get answered as far as some of the characters, as far as who they are and their backstory, but trust me when I tell you, a whole new set of questions pop up after you see what happens in this movie. So that's one thing that's actually great, because it builds the anticipation, it builds the hype, and it makes people like myself want to see episode 8 that much more. So if you are a Star Wars fan, I'm pretty sure there are a bunch of things you wanted to know, and a lot of those things are going to be answered, but by the end of this movie, you're going to have a bunch of new questions because of what happens, a bunch of new questions as far as what's going to happen. And just seeing what J.J. Abrams and the whole Lucasfilm and Disney, what they've done with this whole franchise right now, they set it up for success. Episode 8, I think, is going to be great. If it follows the original trilogy just as far as the ups and downs and kind of for where things go, that means episode 8, we're in for a very dark film where I'm pretty sure some main characters might not make it out of the movie, which is great, and because obviously it's something that it makes the stakes very real. You know, it's not like certain films where you know that no matter what happens, the main characters are somehow going to survive. Star Wars movies are not quite like that. People lose limbs, people die, characters get killed all the time in Star Wars. That's one of those things that makes it very realistic. Alright, so Star Wars The Force Awakens, it's time for me to give it a score on the Mindbender movie meter. And I'm going to have to go with a score of a 92%. That's right, Star Wars The Force Awakens, 92%, right here as it says. This movie is very fun, it's very entertaining, a lot of action, it's got heartfelt moments. It's a return to a feeling from what you originally felt in the 70s. If you weren't originally a Star Wars fan back then, it's fine. As I stated before, this is a great time to jump on and get immersed into this whole entire storyline. So, Star Wars The Force Awakens, 92% on the Mindbender movie meter score. Alright, so I am Emperor Cole. This has been Emperor Cole Film Review for Star Wars The Force Awakens, brought to you by mindbenderent.com. If you like this review, please hit subscribe and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Also, feel free to check out Mindbender Entertainment at mindbenderent.com. Also, like us on Facebook at Facebook.com/Mindbender Entertainment, and follow us on Twitter at Twitter.com/MindbenderENT. So, feel free to jump into the comment section and let me know if you agree with this review, if you disagree. If you've seen the film, then obviously there might be some more points. We can get more in depth about certain things. If you haven't seen the film, let me know if you feel like this review will make you go see the movie. So, like I said, check us out, mindbenderent.com. The future is now.